All right, everybody. We are back for another episode of the Eagles podcast. We're doing a little bit different today. We are up on top of the press box here in Memorial Stadium at beautiful A.L. Brown High School, and we got a couple of special guests with us from A.L. Brown High School. So we'll go down the line and introduce yourselves.
Hi, my name is Ali. I do cross country, and I'm a senior here at A.L. Brown.
Hey guys, I'm Koach Buckwell, and I coach cross country and distance track.
Hi, my name is Johnny. I do cross country here at A.L. Brown, and I am a senior.
Well, Johnny, Coach, Ali, we appreciate you guys jumping on. This was very much off of a whim yesterday. I text Coach, and we were talking about it, and we were talking about another student that was on another podcast, and I said, man, I need to get up, we need to do something with the high school kids, and then we shot it down and said, hey, let's do this, and here we are less than 24 hours later. So we do have the band in the background, y'all, so if y'all hear the band going, as Coach said, hey, it's what it is, the big green machine down there. So in our last podcast, y'all, and I really wanted you guys, as in the cross-country team, because I follow y'all's Remind account. Some days I do regret that, because I think Coach Buckwell has the most Remind messages sent ever, sitting at 1.2 million.
I'm currently on restriction, actually.
I bet you are.
I've gone against community guidelines on
I'm not surprised, but what they talked about was the culture of the team that they were on, and obviously the culture of cross country is huge. So Johnny, could you speak to that culture and what it has changed from for you as a young freshman coming in to now a senior captain?
Yeah, I mean, the culture is special here. I mean, it's like you join a team, and of course, when you join as like a freshman, or I joined as a sophomore, like you don't know a whole lot of people. But as you go on and the years go on and you're still in that sport, you kind of get to get close with your teammates, the people around you. Like I've made tons of new friends. I've gotten really close to my teammates. Like I've progressed so much doing this, and the culture is just crazy. Like we support each other, and we basically do everything together. Like we're all together racing. Even on the sidelines when we're not racing, we always make sure that we're encouraging each other. Like, no matter what, and it's always going to be somebody cheering on somebody else.
Speaking of encouragement, I'm fired up of having the background music in here. I feel like it's a nice little, I don't know.
We need this for our speed days. We need to have drum out there to throw some good beats.
Anyway, speaking of encouragement, I've made it to a practice of Coach Buckwell's, and he is intense.
Yes.
It was very intense. I'm fairly positive they were running a 200. I think this was during track season. And as they were running, he is sprinting across straight through the middle of football practice and soccer practice and whatever else was going on down there. So, Ali, in your time on this team, what does encouragement and that kind of enthusiasm mean for you?
It means a lot. I mean, since freshman year, coming into the sport, not knowing anything, like it was super. I'm trying to think about the word. Oh, I'm going blank. It was amazing. Honestly, it really pushes you in a way that you don't push yourself. You think, oh, I can't do this, but Coach is there telling you, you can do this. You can do hard things, and I think everyone needs to hear that, whether or not you run or not, because you can get through hard things, and I think it gives you a sense of confidence on and off the track. And it just means a lot to have a coach that knows that I can do something and that trusts me to do something.
So, Coach, and I got it ready. I got it ready. No,
Save that for practice.
so,
Monday's practice.
Your enthusiasm obviously bleeds over to your team. And you can tell that just in the sheer amount of kids that you have coming out for a 4 a.m., let's go run around downtown Kannapolis and then have all these parents cook breakfast and whatever you guys do.
Yeah.
Where does that come from? Where does that drive come from?
Man, I tell you, I think it goes back to my childhood, like being around and immersed in Kannapolis and A.L. Brown culture, coming to A.L. Brown football games since I was, since 91. And in high school, I was voted most school spirited. Last week, me and Dr. Newell were voted 2-time champions, most school spirited for the staff. And I think really when I joined the cross country in high school, Coach Landis really put that fire within me to take my enthusiasm for the school and the school culture and move it into the cross country culture. And when I came back from Colorado to A.L. Brown and started this, I think that's where I was like, okay, this is my thing. Like, golf was always a thing for me, but like, it's hard to get that fired up on the golf course, you know. But
I'm sure you'll find a way though.
I will, I will. But yeah, it's. I think that's where it began. And that's where it's gotten to. I still talk to Coach Landis once a week about, and every time he texts me, I get fired up and goosebumps talking to him. And so I know that, like, for me to be at my best, I gotta have a big support group. And so my job is to have the biggest and best support group for our kids. That way they feel like they are backed, they're supported through good times, through failures, through whatever. And when they have that, they feel like they can go out there and give their everything. And if they do fail, we're still going to be pushing them and cheering them on. And when they succeed, we're going to really, really celebrate.
Yes. Speaking of really celebrating, again, we're just kind of firing from the hip here, so I'm just trying to find little punchlines to build off of. The Friday Night Lights run.
Mm-hmm.
Is that something new, or has that been happening and I just have never known about it until I started following A.L. Brown cross country, and I'm like, all right, here it is.
I think this year was the 8th year running, but this is our 3rd year doing it. We were on the wait list for about 5 years because it's so big. Teams from Virginia, Tennessee, South Carolina are on a wait list, and it took us 5 years to get into it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So the sport of running in general has obviously grown a ton, especially here close to home. Johnny, what does that mean for you being the captain of, I would argue to say, one of the largest teams at A.L. Brown, maybe short of football?
Yeah.
And a varsity JV baseball. I mean, you got, what, 50 kids running out there?
We got 50.
Yeah.
We had 56 last week running, yeah.
56.
And then during the summer, you've even got our middle school kids out there.
Yeah.
Which is
70,
absolutely incredible.
Insane. I mean, it's like, to me, it's incredible. It's like I joined my sophomore year, and for the past 3 years, I've got to see the entire team grow. And like when I first started, there was, of course, like I knew there was varsity. There was a total of, like, I think around like 20, 30 people, I think. Yeah. I would say around that. And it was like, it wasn't the biggest team. Like, it wasn't the biggest team on campus, like, not as big as like baseball and all them, like with all the people they have. But slowly as the years went by, like, I got to see the team grow. And recently, now, since we have so many people, it's just gotten huge. And to me, it's like amazing to see, because I've seen the team go from such a small group to such a huge group. And now, like, I've seen people that are passionate about doing this stuff, and like they're really good at it. And like, even the kids from middle school, I've seen them like run with us, and it's great to see how passionate they are and how they're going to contribute when they get here.
Mm-hmm. It's Coach Matheny does a heck of a job, and that's talking on our last podcast. We're the only school in our conference that has a cross country team, and those kids go out, and Coach Matheny goes and finds all these races for these kids to get into to build that culture. So, Ali, maybe talk about how, obviously, you are a leader. Granted, you're in a boot right now, but you're obviously a leader of a very large team. How do you guys keep that culture bleeding from the top down and continuing to grow? Because, like, I watched you guys yesterday out here. I think it was maybe after practice. You're out here hitting a volleyball around, or over the summer, I'm seeing y'all in Bakers Creek Park, down there in the creek playing in the water after a long run. How do you get that to echo from one person at the top all the way down to that that incoming freshman or that sophomore that's just joined?
I trust, like, my other captains, including Johnny. Like, I trust them so much, and I trust that they're gonna be something I tell myself before a leader. I'm a friend, so I really emphasize building a bond and building that foundation of trust with everyone else. And I think once you have that trust, like, it's easy to have people like listen to you and respect you. And there's a difference between being a leader and kind of like bossing people around, and when you know to be a leader, people like they don't feel like you're talking down on them. And I think, like, I'm a senior, so how? Oh my gosh.
You're on the right track. I like it.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm getting like stuck. But yeah, like
Do you need some motivation? Here we go.
I think that helped a lot, actually. Yeah, so like, yeah, being a senior, like, I really want to make sure the freshmen that are coming up, even the middle schoolers, like, I hope they know that this is a home and that they know they feel welcome, that they are welcomed here. So yeah, I think just for me, friendship is one of the biggest things, knowing that they have someone they can count on, regardless if it's about running or not, or about school or whatever it is, that they have people like upperclassmen that they can go to and talk to.
Yeah, I think something, and unless y'all watched our last podcast, which I'm going to imagine you probably didn't, but if you did and you missed it, or if you missed it, go back and watch it. But Liam was talking about how it's very rewarding, it's very nice, it's very comforting knowing he's got, as a 8th grader, he's got guys and girls on this high school varsity team that are juniors and seniors that he knows, that he's comfortable with, that he's friends with, that has his back, and we talked about that in the last one. So that is awesome. So, Coach, you have obviously made quite the impact on the students, but I think you're also making an impact on the parents as well. And talking with some of the parents, the Aaron Beavers that I see all the time, they are all about it, and they always have nothing but awesome things to say about you, at least that they share with me. How important is it not only to obviously build the trust of your kids, but also within your kids' parents, guardians, whoever they live with? How important is that to you?
That's probably the most important thing, because I have these kids for 2 hours a day, 6 on Saturdays, but I've got to make sure that the parents understand how important their role is too. And when the kids come home, like, hey, all right, I know my kid had a hard day of practice because they were at A.L. Brown, so they have a hard practice. And so I need to make sure they're fed, they're hydrating, they've got their schoolwork done, and going to bed. And I've got parents pulling up on Saturdays at meets, asking, what can I do, or just doing things. And that's super helpful, because for me and Coach Danku, we've got a lot of other stuff on our plates during the race days, and to have parents who just voluntarily show up at 6:30 in the morning or 5 in the morning or whatever, and just bring things and do things for us, that's really important, because one of the things I tell my parents too is, like, one of the most important things you can do is show up. I don't need you barking at your kids. I don't need you, upset at your kids. I need you showing up and just being there. Whether it's a high five before the race, a hug after the race, I don't need you to ask them questions. I need you to show up. Your presence is the most important thing in their life at that race. Like, that is it.
Amen.
And if you're there, that's all I can ask you to do. And so we have a lot of parents that show up and show out, and it's just, without that, our culture is not anywhere close to what it is today. And so I'm incredibly grateful for all of our parents that do that for us.
And that is a culture with a K, just so we're clear on that.
The K.
Yes, sir.
So speaking of parents, I had a conversation with a parent up here at A.L. Brown the other day, actually, and one of her questions to me was like, what can I do as a parent? What can I do more as a parent? I said, show up, cheer on.
That's it.
Don't, yeah, like you said, like when they get home, we don't need to talk about what they did wrong, because they already know it. They already know us. That's what I always tell my basketball parents when I was coaching. I say, guys, I don't need you to try to coach your kid from the sideline. I don't want you to coach them at the house.
Yep.
Like, I need y'all to play by that 24-hour rule, just like I ask everybody else to.
Exactly.
So coming up from the middle school up to here, kind of trying to bridge that gap, how it's pretty. I mean, I know it's normal for all of us to just say, "Hey, I know where all my kids are coming from. They're coming from 3 miles down the road at Kannapolis Middle School." But how important is it, or cool, or awesome, or whatever word you want to use, is it knowing that, hey, all I got to do is go right down here, and I can go meet with these kids, talk with these kids. I know their faces, knowing that they're going to come up and they're going to be the next generation of captains eventually.
Yeah. I mean, it's a pretty cool thing. I mean, like, as our team has grown, we've gotten more and more people, and like they've gotten really close. Like, because over the summer we got to build up all of that, the people that got to go, and even during the season we get to build up. And it's really good because the more people we get, the more people are around the school, like you said. It's like if you look around, if you're a teammate or if you're on cross country, you can look around, you'll find anybody around here. I think like around, I see around like maybe 5 people a day in cross country, and that's the 2 blocks that I'm here. So I imagine throughout the day I'd see more and more and more. It's really great to have that many people because you can go talk to them. You know where they're at. You can go talk to them whenever you need to. If you're struggling, and that's a part of the culture. The closer we are as a team, like we can go to them when we're in trouble or if we need help, like when we see them at school, and just rely on your teammates because we've grown so much over the summer to the season, and we've gotten really close.
I think our band left. Oh. No, they're doing walkthrough.
No.
They just stopped playing.
Sorry, I got a little distracted there. I was going somewhere
Squirrel.
with that, so now I gotta reset myself. And we're back. So a fun fact, we talked a little bit, I think, about this. So this equipment was all donated. I had this wild hair thanks to your brother. Actually, I just stole his idea from what he was doing with the football team.
OT Buck.
And put on the donors choose, and we had a lot of community members donate. I wasn't going to bring this up, but now I have to because you're an app guy, and my sister-in-law would kill me if I didn't say something. So she did donate. So some of this money came from a eagle, and I don't know how that makes you feel. You probably take the headphones off, push the mic away. But in all seriousness, shout out to our donors that made this right here possible to be able to get people that maybe aren't normally in front, especially our middle school kids, in front of a camera and a mic out in front of it. But you guys have done such a great job of putting cross country out there and getting it on the map, whether in the community, just in the school, or just in the school system itself. So, Ali, what's it like knowing that you guys are having a media day now? Everybody thinks of Kannapolis and they think football, basketball.
Yeah.
Maybe throw baseball in there. But now we've got other sports kind of up and coming. Cross country being what I just think was right off the top of the head is probably one of the higher ones. But knowing that you got a Mr. Beaver coming in and taking some really freaking cool pictures, by the way,
Yes.
and people recognize it. I mean, in the community, all around, really.
I think it's great. I've been here since my freshman year, and like Johnny said, like the growth. Like my freshman year, we didn't have enough girls to even be a team, like score as a team. And so now I'm like, oh my gosh, we have like almost 20 girls. Like it's insane, and it's amazing to have a Mr. Beaver, not just for cross country, but there's so many sports here that work so hard, and Mr. Beaver is there to capture it. He even comes to practice sometimes, and he sees the work we put in, and it's really nice to have that out and have people see that, because people win, yeah, but like I think what goes on in practice, what we do outside of a race is super important. And it's really nice to have Mr. Beaver there and tell our story and show what we do. And, yeah.
Well, your story is definitely getting told.
Yeah.
I can tell you that, and I've talked to just a couple of people around at the middle school level, and they definitely know what's going on, which is absolutely amazing. So golf. Coach, speaking of golf, I feel like we got to get Coach Taylor up here.
Yeah.
And we get her out to one of your practices and see if maybe she could coach up some golf like you coach up some of your runners.
I like that.
I don't know that she would do it or not. So you mentioned you were out in Colorado.
Yep.
So what took you out there?
Life took me out there, man. It was time for a life change. And I had known Kannapolis my entire life for all 25 or 6, I don't know how old I was when I moved out there. I guess 23, 24, I don't know. And so I growing up, everyone knows, not everyone, I won't be that, but like most people know who the Buckwell family is. And
Everybody, you can just say everyone. It's okay.
and it's super nice, and I get a lot of benefits from that, but also I wanted to make sure that I knew that my successes in life were because of who I was, not because of my father, my mother, my brother, or whatever, grandparents. And so moving to Colorado really helped me find that assurance that, like, hey, man, you're good enough. Like, it's your life. Like, you can do all these hard things, not just because your dad's there behind the scenes, like, there, but because of who you are and what you do and how you treat others and how you interact with people. And I think that I was there for 2 years, and at that point I missed my family, wanted to come back home, and then when I came back home, I think a much more confident teacher and coach because of that experience, because I knew like it's me, like I'm the one in charge of this, and I'm the one in control, and I have the ability to change students in the classroom, students in the athletic world too.
You also looked like a caveman, if I remember, whenever you came back.
Yes, my hair was down past my shoulders, I think curly.
Yep.
It was straight at one point. I let my kids straighten it. That was a terrible idea. But I have hidden, I don't know, upwards of 15 photos around Airborne High School with my curly hair in random spots. And so
maybe we can get one of those photos and put it up on the screen like right now so everybody can see what we're talking about. But I feel like I remember when you came back, I was like, who is this guy? And why is his hair so long?
Well, speaking of hair, Coach Shaver, do you want to elaborate on your middle school?
Oh man, I can also get that picture. I can put them side by side, maybe.
Yes.
So I had a quite the afro in middle school. We had a little bit of an issue with us football players, and we were called into the office and given an ultimatum. Basically, we were told you got option A, or you have option B, which is you're going to play tennis. And option A was not really an option. Our AD just kind of said that because he was also our AP, and he's like, you either get suspended or you're going to play, and I'm not suspending you. So guess what? So yeah, I had a little afro growing. When my hair grows out, it just grows up and out. So
can't wait to see that picture, man.
yes,
oh my God.
with the sweatband on.
Yes.
That was good stuff right there. So yeah, we known Coach Buckwell for a while, and being able to watch this grow, this cross country community, because I don't think it's a team anymore.
Yeah, it's a community.
It is a community with a K, full of not just runners, but runners, parents, friends. Y'all do the video down here thanking people that have given money. I think I saw my wife's name pop up on there. I think she donated money to you guys. I didn't know that, so you're welcome.
Thank you.
So I said, Allison Shaver, I know her. But you have people like that. I mean, I think that speaks volumes to what not only you guys are doing, but also what you're doing too, Coach. But I think, man, we'll wrap it up. But before we do wrap it up, I like to always end with this segment that's not sponsored by anybody yet. So if you guys would like to sponsor, holler at me, reach out to me. Just any advice. We'll maybe go specifically athletic advice today on maybe a younger person watching, because I know there's a lot of people that are going to look up to you guys. You're never, ever, ever going to know it, because like I tell the kids at our school, like, everybody's too cool to tell you that, but they're definitely they see you walk around in the captain shirt, and somebody's looking at Ben like, that's pretty dang cool right there. So any piece of athletic advice, maybe to somebody going up that's a rising sixth grader, maybe a rising freshman coming in, or anywhere in between. Ali, we'll start with you, and then we'll just kick it down the line. Coach will include you on this, and then we'll wrap it up.
For me, something I wish I knew as even a seventh grader is to do nothing in fear. Coach really he always reminds us, even if we're just on the track or off the track, in a race, in school, wherever in life, just stepping up to whatever line you're going up to and being confident in who you are and in your power and in your strength. I feel like growing up, I was timid, I was insecure, I was hesitant, I was doubtful in my own strength, and I wish I had someone to tell me that a lot earlier, because I think I would have been a lot more confident by now, and just I would have relied on myself a lot more.
Is that a Coach Buckwell quote?
That was awesome, yeah.
I kind of saw it on your face. So I had a student give me a letter one time, and I always say, like, close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. Mm-hmm. And she said, Coach Shaver, I don't remember anything from your class except for close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. And I'm like, all right, well, I'm making a difference somewhere. I don't know if it's good or not, but there it is. Coach, any kind of advice you'd maybe pass along to somebody watching and think about joining any athletic squad at any level?
Yeah, to continue on with what Kaptain Ali said, nothing in fear, and especially the fear of failure. If you're afraid of failure, that means you're afraid of growth. And if you're not going to grow, you're going to stay stagnant and plateau your entire athletic career. it's really important for your growth to fail. Like you've got to do things so hard, like mentally and physically, that where you do fail, and failing is an absolute part of your growth. And if you don't fail, then you're not going to understand your body, your mind, your abilities, and you'll never find the success that you truly desire if you don't ever fail. So
I like that. That's good. You got to fail.
have to.
You have to, because if you're not failing, you're probably not trying
You're
real
not.
hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I apologize, Kaptain Ali.
No, you're all
and
good.
Kaptain Johnny. I should have been calling you by the correct name this whole time. You should have corrected me. All right, Kaptain Johnny.
I mean, not really a whole lot to touch on. I mean, nothing in fear. One of the best things to think of. Always stepping up to what you have to do. Like, say it's like at a soccer game, a football game. Always step up. No, don't be afraid. Always be confident in yourself. Through my years of cross country, I've learned that. I used to, like Ali said, this is something that, especially cross country, but with other sports, the more you try to develop confidence in yourself, you'll notice that you won't be worried. You'll be less stressful. It's not gonna catch up to you as much. And something that I want to say to all the people, all the rising middle schoolers or anybody that's coming up to high school, for sports, always make sure to push yourself. I know, like, people have heard that all the time. Make sure to push yourself in the right ways. Don't try to push yourself to where you'll be hurt. Don't try to overwhelm yourself. Don't try to push yourself to a level that you won't be able to hit in, like, the closest time. Say, like, in, like, maybe a month from now, I say, well, I want my PR in racing to be a minute less or 2 minutes less. Like, it's achievable, but I have to, like, limit myself. I have to pace myself, make sure that I push myself to that goal, but I'm not overwhelming myself. Like, I'm going out every single day doing speed, like 1,000 repeats, like, every single day. So whenever you push yourself, always make sure that you limit yourself to just, push yourself to, like, if you're going to do, like, speed a day, like, one day, if you're going to push yourself really hard one day, make sure you take rest, because rest is super important in recovering so you can build up, that strength so you can participate in your sport, be better.
Absolutely. Speaking of participating, you are traveling to Cary this weekend.
Yes.
Captain, good luck.
Thank you.
Ali, I know you're probably not running for
No,
a while.
just
How long
hopping
are you
around.
out for?
I'm out. I get to run again on Monday.
Oh,
So
Yeah.
soon.
good. We're
Yeah.
good to go. Coach, are you in Cary or are you at McAlpine?
I'm heading to Cary. Coach Dan Koo and Coach Monteith are heading to McAlpine.
Well, good luck to you guys.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you guys jumping on, and we will see you guys next time.
Thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you.
Thank you.